Welcome to HNS Anime and Manga. Like the video and subscribe channel and ring the bell.
Chapter 7 The Place I Wish to Protect. He dreamed. He had long since forgotten that people dream in their slumber, because ever since he'd cast aside his human body, he hadn't had any dreams. It was a dream of the time when he was still only a boy. The hero of the Holy Sword, Leonis Shalto, was betrayed by the nobles of his kingdom and assassinated. It really was a surprisingly trite, commonplace story. He cared little for the motive, grudge, envy, hatred, vanity, fear. Perhaps all those rolled into one. But the 10-year-old boy who had saved the world time and again was delivered to an unnatural death. Even as he lay in the rain with a puddle of blood pooling beneath him, the boy didn't resent mankind. He'd seen plenty of its ugly sides, and many of its noble aspects as well. Even those who'd ordered his death weren't villains through and through. "Boy, do you think this world is just? I don't care anymore," the boy answered in a tired whisper. The woman simply extended her hand toward him. "I wish to rebel against this world." "What do you intend to do?" And as she said those words with a smile, her expression was so beautiful. "It's been a long time since I've dreamed about her." It was a vivid dream that stirred memories of his past. Roselia, the girl known as the goddess of rebellion. She resurrected the boy once called a hero, changing him into a dark lord. She saved Leonis when he'd lost faith in this world, and then she went on to try to save the world itself. Shouldering that heavy burden with that small body of hers, plagued with a dull headache, he held his head as he sat up. Pajamas clung to his 10-year-old limbs. He still felt a bit numb. NNNGHH. And then an oddly sensual voice tickled his ears. He looked down in a panic. Rizelia turned over on the bed, sleeping pleasantly. Her breath leaked from between her lips. Her sleeping gown had become partially undone, exposing her chest. It rose and fell with each breath. Her silver hair glittered in the faint sunlight that crept in through the windows. What is she doing here? Leonis thought back on how he'd retired the night before. There was only one bed in the room, so Leonis had decided to sleep on the sofa. When he was the undead king, he'd always slept in a stone coffin, so he wasn't very picky when it came to his bedding. "Yes, I definitely went to sleep on the sofa." Leonis felt an unpleasant sensation on his neck. It was a bit swollen. "She didn't, did she?" As Rizelia could in her sleep, Leonis pinched her cheek. She only furrowed her brow in irritation but made no sign of waking up. Leonis shrugged and whispered into her ear, "Awaken, my minion." The girl's eyes snapped open in surprise. He'd charged those words with mana to wake his subordinate. "Good morning, Celia." "Good morning, Leo." She looked at him, rubbing her eyes. The sheets were pushed to one side, giving him a clear glimpse of her white panties. Leonis did his best not to look. Wasn't I sleeping on the sofa?" "Yes, I move you to the bed." "You'd catch a cold if you slept there." "I'd probably be fine." Dark Lords catching colds was unheard of, though maybe it's possible in this body. It hardly mattered right now. Leonis cleared his throat and glared at her with one eye half open. "You sucked my blood while I was sleeping, didn't you?" Rizelia looked away in a random direction. "I have bite marks on my neck." He pressed harder to make her admit her guilt. Just a bit," she stammered, putting her index finger and thumb close together in the approximate shape of just a bit. "It was late, and I couldn't help it. It just kind of happened." Vampiric impulses became stronger at nighttime, and having only just become a vampire queen, Rizelia still had problems suppressing the urge.